All right, September garden update 2023. This might be the last garden video I do of the year. I may do one later on to show how I prep my garden through the winter. All right, so last video, these plants were probably half the size and had no ripe peppers on them hardly at all. And now I've already gotten loads and loads, gallons of pods. I even held a contest in my town, and I still got tons of pods left over. So I'm trying to find a restaurant that wants to work with me to make the hottest sauce in this town. That's the goal. But anyway, so let's go ahead and get into it here. That way, when you watch my videos in the past, you'll be like, oh, this guy does grow a good amount of pods, and maybe he does have some good information. But here's the Scotch bonnets. These guys kept getting hit down by the deer. They do every year, and that's why they put the Scotch bonnets right here as you come in, because I like Scotch bonnets, but there's a ton of other pods in here that I was more keen on to getting to, so I can let these be the bumper the bumper crop, if you will, like literal bumper. Like the deer come in here and they go after that first. They munch that down, they find a hot pod, and then they're like, oh crap, we can't eat that no more. And so they leave all the rest of them alone pretty much. Anyways, we already talked about that in damn near every other video that I've done so far. But Scotch bonnets. Now, if you go out into your garden, you pull some pods, you find a hole in your pod, and you're like, what the heck is eating a hole through my pepper? That's a crazy animal, right? Well, here it is. That little black caterpillar right there. And you can see he's already got a hole tore into there. We're gonna go ahead and just pull this pod out. Get over here, and that little fucker right there. That worm right there will eat holes into your pods. Alright. I don't know what the caterpillar looks like, or the moth after the caterpillar, does its thing. Check out this golden reaper. I gotta eat that. I don't want to, but I'm gonna have to. It's a nice mustard color. A bunch of other pods on it. This plant kept getting hit by deer as well, and slugs. Here we have Sugar Rush Peach Stripey going through some kind of, I would guess, a phosphorus issue. I fertilized it last week, and now the new growth is coming on, and some of it looks okay, but it's the end of the season. Oh, look at that, man. These are now my favorite peppers. They're so damn sweet and flavorful. They have the best flavor, and their heat is stingy. For me, it's a 4. It's a good solid 4. And then we got the Sugar Rush Peaches without the stripes, both from jppepperseeds.com. Fatales. Love fatales, man. You can take these pods straight, cut them in half, take out the seeds, and just smother cream cheese in there, and then just eat it as is. And so damn good. And they're hot, man. Those are probably a good 5, maybe a 6. They're hotter than the Sugar Rush Peaches, but once you get that cream cheese in there, dude, it's like the flavor overrules the heat. Trinidad Perfume. Look at that, just absolutely loaded. They taste like they're supposed to be hot. They're not sweet. They're more like a florally bitter plant, and but they have 0 heat to them. So I don't really care for them. I probably won't grow them again. Of course, you gotta have the sweet banana peppers. Gotta have them. I thought these were chocolate habanero, but they are not. They are red habaneros. Somehow I mixed up my seed, my planting, and got it in my mind that I planted chocolate habaneros when I actually planted reds. So we'll try that again next year, because chocolate habaneros are still a very near and dear pod to my heart. That's what got me started with everything here. Chiltepins. Freaking so many pods, man. And they pack a little punch. We got more of these long sweets I haven't really been keeping up on. But you get some of them that are just really big pods, that didn't grow out quite straight because it was leaned up on the ground. But then you get the ones that do grow out straight, and they get massive. They get really big pods. And We got Lessias. I already pulled a few Lessias off of here. Not a very productive plant, I'll tell you that. If you want a bunch of Lessias, you got to grow a bunch of plants. Jigsaw with the variegated leaves. This right here is a Chiroroxa. Really pretty pepper, really pretty. And then we got these, I guess, tiger cayennes or tiger jalapenos. I'm not sure. It's kind of shaped like a Fresno pepper. We got a grasshopper in here doing his thing. That's cool. Haven't seen many of those this year. There we go. What up, dude? Anyways, so they go from purple into this fiery red, but it maintains the purple hue to it. Very beautiful, very beautiful. All right, and then we got a King Star Linen Starburst crossed with a pink tiger. This kept getting mowed down by the deer, and now it's just this massive bush of a plant. There's two plants in here. They've grown up side by side. They're pretty much the biggest plants in the garden, just about. But the thing is, though, is they've only got these two pods on them. And I don't know if they're going to get to changing color in time or not. We'll see. This right here, I'm not sure what it is. I think it's a jalapeno. But we're not going to get enough time on those for them to change color either, because we only got a few weeks left before frost happens. I would say probably 4 weeks. And here's where I had my wildflower seeds. Had some leeks that started up in here, and then once all that died off, I just planted some snap peas in here, because out of all my vegetables that I grow, I'd have to say the snap peas are my favorite. They're so damn good. Had all the green beans. Deer and her babies came through here and just wiped everything clean. Just completely decimated the garden, the green bean patch. All right, back to the pods. Here we have 7-pot bubble gums. Look at that calyx. So beautiful. So intimidating. And it's a nice sized plant too. And then we got this crossover here of a brain strain with something else. But they're wicked. They are wicked. And then coming around the side, Yellow Moruga Scorpion might be the most productive super hot there is in my garden, at least. I mean, there's just, it looks like the Trinidad perfumes. There's just so many of them. I've already got a whole quart jar of them dried out. And then here we have Dragon's Breath, which these ones is a prolific plant, but the thing is though is that they don't ripen so quick. They take a long time to ripen, but my goodness, look at the tails on them though, bro. That's definitely the longest tails I got going on in my garden. For sure. And then we got Primatalis over here, which is noted to be world's hottest pepper at the moment. But that could be, you know, it's not certified. But in case you didn't know, yeah, there's several peppers out there that are hotter than the Carolina Reaper. I mean, the Carolina Reaper was done in 2012. It's been 11 years since the release of the Carolina Reaper. There's other pods out there that are much hotter. Orange cayennes. This plant's still loaded, putting on a whole bunch of new flowers, but it's, you know, so late. But I've already pulled tons of pods off of all these. Cherry bomb peppers. They turn orange. Already pulled a bunch of them. Already made some prosciutto bites off of them. So damn tasty. And then we got Euphoria peppers here, also known as the California Reaper. Now this plant right here did not do so well because it kept getting attacked by some kind of pest. Some kind of pest. I've already pulled 1 or 2 off of here. The other plants that I grew that I gave away did exceptionally well. But look at that, man. Just so gnarly, wrinkly and bumpy and little. Just looks nasty, bro. Mean pod too, I'll tell you that. Pretty decent flavor when it's fully ripened. There's no green on it. No green, no bitterness. But, dude, like, These immediate stinging hot iron to the back of the throat literally feels like you just like, you ever smoke a bowl, like, you know, some chronic, and then the flame pulls through the pipe and you end up getting a bunch of like hot cherry and ashes in the back of your throat. That's what this does. It feels just like that, but encapsulates the entire mouth and tongue. It's wicked. But anyway, so that's pretty much the garden. September 2023 was a successful year. A lot of pods. Contest was a success. I finally grew the biggest beets I've ever grown. Look at the size of that beet there, man. Some of the biggest beets I've ever grown. I grew them on the outskirts of this potato patch here, which I still need to get the potatoes out of. That kale that survived last year looks like it's gonna keep going on. Another golden reaper plant. Another golden reaper. And these two plants here were the ones I had to spray with pesticide because the slugs were just destroying this plant. They had no chance. And of course, finally, the Asian pear that I grew from seed. It's on its second year. Keeps getting attacked by the deer, as you can tell down here. But the leaves keep coming back, more bushy, and hell, we'll take it, man. That's nature for you. Oh, and you see I got mulch. I'm about to mulch out this entire garden. So pretty soon I'm not going to be contending with as many weeds. It's going to look like a whole different garden next year. It's going to look like a whole different garden. Oh yeah. Let's get into the other things here too. Tomato plant grown by the compost pile. What's on these funky tomatoes here? I'm not sure what they are. They must have crossed a cherry with a black creme or something like that, because it's got the green on the top, red on the bottom, just like a black creme. But they're small like cherry tomatoes. It happens. The gojis. The goji berries, man. Bees are working hard on it. They flower late in the year. So if you're trying to create a pollinator garden, gojis are a must because they flower so late in the year. And they'll keep flowering all the way up until the frost. So it always gives something for the bees to work on. The peach tree over here keeps getting destroyed by deer. Chamomile. Just a big bunch there. This is wild oregano. More goji berries planted out by the Jerusalem artichokes, which are getting quite massive now that the deer have stopped destroying most of it. I guess they got bored with this. You get the little ones who come through here and they'll nibble out the bottoms on it. But there's that. Elderberry. I got that transplanted in here a few months ago, along with the yarrow, butterfly milkweed, Indian hemp, and swamp milkweed, which is just littered with aphids now. Peach tree, year 2, believe it or not. This is only its second year. Only its second year. That's hard for me to believe, man, but I was there. I planted it. Grapes did okay. Actually got a nice cluster of grapes off there. Then we had this side garden here, cauliflower and weeds, poke plant. I prepared all this and didn't use half of it. Tomato plants that just got left behind. I didn't really focus much on tomatoes, but it's whatever. And then we got our raspberries, which are doing really good. I about got a little more than a half a gallon of raspberries so far off of this plant. And it's just spread out from there, here, out to there. And they're good, man. They're good. These are just raspberries I picked up at Walmart. And a trick that I found out once I find there's no bugs on this. A trick I found out, and you let your raspberry stalk grow up, and then you cut it, right? And then it'll just branch out, and it'll become, you know, not just one linear stalk. It breaks down and it branches out just like with any other plant. And then you got more surface area for raspberries to grow. So that's a little hack for you. I did it with this. So I grew up, cut it, and then it started planting out extra growth in other places. Dog, you want a raspberry? Oops. Will he find it? He found it. Yay, good boy. You like raspberries, huh? You want to eat that pepper too? You gonna eat that? No, I didn't think so. No.